And unless you want me to do the Spanish one and then you can do the other one. Perfect, thank you. Ready? Sure.
Good evening, everyone.
If it's not on, you can take
Hello?
it.
Test one.
Test.
Switch this around.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the monthly meeting of the East Rockaway Board of Education. At this time, we have a special guest who will do the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Mr. DiMatteo, you want to announce it?
Testing 1, 2. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wilson is a fourth grade student at Center Avenue in Miss Miolino's class. Wilson comes to school each day with a positive attitude and a smile on his face. His bright smile and kind demeanor are known throughout the school by students, teachers, and staff. Wilson is a self-motivated. He loves learning and takes a great deal of pride in his work. He sets goals for himself and works hard to achieve those goals. Wilson enjoys a challenge and is willing to take academic risks. He loves to push his thinking and never gives up. Wilson aspires to be a pilot when he is older, and we know that if he puts his mind to it, he will accomplish this goal. Wilson is a role model, and we are all so proud to have him lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening. And I'm going to pass it over to Neri.
Okay, this is the translation in Spanish. Wilson es un estudiante de cuarto grado en la escuela de Center Avenue, en la clase de la señora Miolan. Wilson llega a la escuela todos los días con una actitud positiva y una sonrisa en su rostro. Su brillante sonrisa y comportamiento amable son conocidos en toda la escuela por estudiantes, maestros y personal. Wilson está motivado. Le encanta aprender y se enorgullece mucho de su trabajo. Se fija metas a sí mismo y trabaja duro para lograr esas metas. Wilson disfruta de un desafío y está dispuesto a asumir riesgos académicos. Le encanta impulsar su pensamiento y nunca se da por vencido. Wilson aspira a ser piloto cuando sea mayor y sabemos que si se lo propone, lo logrará. Wilson es un modelo a seguir y estamos muy orgullosos de que nos guíe esta noche en el juramento a la bandera del país. Puedes pasar, Wilson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, we have, looks like four quick presentations. We're going to start out with the Andrew Stern Essay Contest.
Okay, it's great to see a big crowd here tonight for a number of presentations. I really appreciate that, and I think that's important for the community. But I'd like to start by thanking everyone for coming here, in particular for the presentation for the Andrew Stern Essay Contest. As you will hear shortly, Andrew Stern was a beloved East Rockaway alumni who was unfortunately killed in the terror attacks on September 11th. Our school district and the Stern family have formed a partnership to continue to honor the memory of Andrew by continuing the tradition of sponsoring the essay contest this year and for every year since. Here with us tonight are members of the Stern family, brother Michael, who is an employee with the district, his sister Lisa Birch, and his mother Barbara Stern. How about a nice round of applause for them? I would like to now call Lisa Birch up to the podium, who will share this year's essay topic and call upon the students who wrote the winning essays.
Thank you, Superintendent DiTomaso, and to all of the teachers from the high school, the junior high, center, and RAIM. Thank you to the students and parents who participated in this year's essay contest. Every year, my family and I have the honor of presenting an essay question to the students related to 9/11 in an effort to ensure that even though they weren't alive on that day, they know what happened and they never forget. It's also a way for us to honor the memory of our son and brother, Andrew Stern, who graduated here in 1978 and went on to have a successful career and a beautiful family before he was taken from us on 9/11. Andy loved East Rockaway High School. The friends he made here are still close with us and with Andy's wife, Kate, to this day. By allowing us to honor him, we are also honoring what it means to be part of a community, and we're grateful for that. This year, we asked the students, if you were a teacher, what are the 3 most important things that you would teach your students about 9/11? Not surprisingly, most of the students said that they would teach their students about the actual events of 9/11, the planes and where they crashed, and many said that they would want students to know about the heroes of 9/11 and about how things changed in the world after 9/11. But the 3 winners went a little bit deeper. They wanted to be sure that students learned about why 9/11 happened, about patriotism, resilience, bravery, the importance of community, and recognizing that not everyone who looks or sounds a certain way shares the same views or values. But I'm sure you would rather hear from them instead of me in their own words. So first, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Hi. We'll hear from the elementary school winner, Ava Doro. Okay. Do you have your essay? Mom, got the essay? You ready? I'm going to speak right into there.
If I were a teacher, I think educating students about the 9/11 terrorist attacks is very important. There are so many topics to discuss, topics that are significant in our nation's history and around the world. First, I would talk about why the attacks happened and try to bring awareness to the violence and terrorism in our country. I would not do this in a way to scare children. I would want them to understand how something like this could happen when they ask the question, why did it happen? I think violence and terrorism is a horrible way to express any kind of belief, especially when it comes to the cost of human lives. Another important topic I would want to teach is unity. After the 9/11 attacks, our country and other countries around the world came together in an expression of unity. I think recognizing how good and kind people can be will always outweigh against evil acts like terrorism and violence against people. Finally, I would teach students that they should always be proud of who they are and how lucky they are to live in a country like America. I would educate them on how important it is to have their rights and their freedom. As horrible as the 9/11 attacks were, it is key to always remember that a nation that can come together out of love and kindness will always rise above. I feel that these are important lessons for future generations to know and understand, and important for teachers to share with their students.
Very good. This is for you. And stay up here, okay? Because then we'll take a picture. Okay, 5th grade. Right? 5th grade? Amazing. Congratulations, Ava. Next, please welcome the junior high school winner, Nathan Jaramillo.
The terrorist attacks that took place on September 11, 2001 were one of the most tragic events in the history of our country. September 11, 2001 also became a very important moment in our history because it taught us many lessons about courage, resilience, and kindness. I think it is important for students to continue learning about September 11 in public schools, and if I was a teacher, there are 3 important things that I would teach my students about 9/11. The first topic I would teach my students about 9/11 is how so many people's lives were affected because of this tragedy. These attacks took the lives of almost 3,000 people. Each person killed in this attack left behind an entire family and community who loved them. I think it is important to teach about this because these victims were not soldiers in the middle of a war. The majority of these people were civilians who went to work and never expected to die on that day. Also, many people today continue to be affected by this tragedy. First responders and people who worked in search and rescue after 9/11 are still getting sick from cancer and many of them are still dying. For example, it is estimated that 1,366 people have died from different 9/11 related cancers and 1,469 have died from other 9/11 related illnesses. These cancers and other illnesses were caused by toxic exposure from the dust and debris that resulted from the World Trade collapse and destruction. It has also been reported that more people might eventually die from 9/11 related cancers than the total number of people who died in the 9/11 attacks. The second topic I would teach my students about 9/11 is how September 11 changed the world we live in. For example, before 9/11, people could show up to a gate at the airport and board a plane without a boarding pass and without showing ID. Also, passengers kept their shoes on and went through simple metal detectors. Today, all over the world, there is high security and screening like the use of full body scanning machines to detect guns and even small metal objects that could be used as weapons on an airplane. These changes that affected air travel after 9/11 were put in place days after the attacks, and travelers adapted quickly to these changes. Today, most people can agree that even though these security screenings make waiting at the airport a little longer, they are important to keep everyone safe. This shows that people can adapt to changes and that if people work together in unity, they can accomplish great things. Finally, another topic I would teach my students is about the bravery of the heroes of 9/11. For example, first responders like firefighters were extremely important during 9/11 research and rescue. Imagine being a firefighter wearing full 75-pound gear, trying to climb up 110 flights of stairs to reach people to save them. It was an extremely hard task for the firefighters to do, but their bravery and determination helped them save countless lives. But firefighters were not only the heroes on 9/11. Good Samaritans went into the towers to help save as many lives as they could and to help first responders with their mission. Today, we live in a world where there are many people who are victims of tragic events and violence. But learning about the kindness and bravery of these heroes can inspire many people to want to do the same. I believe that 9/11 has taught us many valuable lessons, and these lessons that we have learned, as well as the memory of those who died on that day, should never be forgotten. Children should learn about the bravery of the heroes, the kindness shown by strangers, and how our country never gave up hope when this attack took place. We should never take these lessons for granted and never forget the victims so that their memory lives on. Our teachers have the responsibility to continue teaching future generations about the importance of this event and how it changed the world we live in. And most importantly, we all have the responsibility to never forget the victims and the heroes of 9/11.
Congratulations. That was fabulous. Stay up here, okay? Wow. Okay, it just keeps getting better. And finally, our high school winner, Kristen Carmen.
High school seniors this year were born in 2005. Kindergartners, they were born in 2017. Neither groups were alive during the devastating acts on September 11, 2001, which means it is up to families and teachers to keep the memories and memorials of those we lost alive. As each year passes, it is even more important than ever to place emphasis on what matters most from that day: the heroes, the community, and the difference between responsibility and association. If I were a teacher, these aspects would be exactly what I would choose to share with my students. It is in the power of those who children look up to and respect to keep remembrance of 9/11 alive through incoming generations for years to come. The first thing I would teach my students is about the heroes that rose on that horrific day. The first responders, firefighters, police officers, EMTs, both volunteer and professional, on or off duty, from near and far, who rushed to the scene, determined to save as many lives as they could. The heroes who did not think twice about climbing 110 flights of stairs in full gear to gather those who were trapped. The men and women who stayed for days and nights on end following the attacks at Ground Zero, digging through the rubble in desperate search for people's loved ones. They are one of the most important things that our children need to talk about each passing year. Secondly, I would teach my students about the importance of community, the community that emerged not on September 11th, but on September 12th, as every American, not just those in New York, Washington, D.C., or Shanksville, Pennsylvania, grieved the lives of those who were killed and sympathized for those who lost their loved ones. People did not hesitate to offer help to whoever they could, donate money and necessities to the families of the victims, and offer shoulders to cry on, whether lifelong friends or strangers. Singers wrote songs, artists drew pictures, radios offered emotional support and advice, and children lifted spirits through artwork and essays. An attack that tried to break America only made it stronger, and it was on September 12th that everyone was proud to be an American, loved their country and their neighbors, and came together as one big community. The third and one of the most important things that I would teach my students about September 11, 2001, is understanding the differences between the terrorists of Al-Qaeda and Muslims who unfortunately are innocent, but are living in the same country as these terrible people. It is very easy for children, especially at such a young age, to misunderstand that because people come from the same country does not mean that they are the same or agree with the attacks on 9/11. It is our responsibility to ensure that children don't set preconceived notions toward all Muslim people without knowing that there is a difference between the good guys and the bad guys. It can be a very confusing concept for them to grasp, but the earlier teachers emphasize this, the more of an impact it'll have as they get older. Never forget is a phrase many people say repeatedly as the anniversary of September 11th rolls around. It is not a suggestion, but rather a command. Never forget the lives lost, the heroes who gave their everything, the pride that engulfed Americans following the attacks, and those responsible, but also those who are not responsible. While we may never forget, it is up to us to make sure our children never forget and keep the memories alive forever.
Wow. I probably say this every year, but those were some of the most meaningful essays that I've read in all the years that we've been doing this. I mean, congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. And you parents and all of you teachers should be very, very proud. Congratulations to all of you. On behalf of my mom, Barbara Stern, and my brother Michael, we just want to say thank you once again for allowing us to do this. Thank you.
I know we've been clapping a lot, and that wasn't easy for the students nor the Stern family. So how about a nice round of applause for both? Next on the agenda, we will be recognizing a new tradition. This is actually the second time. We'll be recognizing a hometown hero. And to share the accolades will be our trustee, Mr. Dominic Volpes.
Just for any community member that's out there that does not know what the Hometown Hero Award is, it's on the website, and the board felt it necessary at this point to talk about what this community really is from the eyes of community members. All the recommendations, all the winners that will come out of this only come from community members. The board does not do anything but look at tallies, sees the total number of votes, and says, this is the next one. And it's an amazing thing because at our meetings when we do this, it really is living proof of what this community is about through the schools of the community, okay, what the schools do in the community, and how they react to it. Tonight, I'm really just so, let me put it this way. When a teacher gets a chance to applaud a former student, you know something's right in life. Okay, Alicia Farragut, come on up. So just to go back a little in the history, before Mr. Gregory, the athletic department only had a half-time secretary, and the athletic director taught 3 classes. He often went into the crowd and said, do we have any students who would offer assistance? And lo and behold, Alicia came about at that point in time. And she was my aide. She was the one who really put things together, organized me a little bit better than what I was, that's for sure. And we had this great mentorship. And through the years, that's continued all the way to this point of time when she's come back to the high school and now runs Rock Rivalry for us. And I think that's a tremendous thing when you have this kind of mentorship that turns back into the community and services this. So let's read about what the community members have to say about you, Alicia. In a changing world, Alicia goes above and beyond to make East Rockaway a special place. She holds the long-time traditions of community and togetherness close to her heart, and it shows in the work that she does. In these crazy times, she pivots and figures out a way for our children to experience the same things we did growing up in a small town. Alicia has been a pivotal member of the Rame Avenue PTA. Alicia has helped facilitate many great events and celebrations for students. She volunteers to organize and run the Rame Avenue School Talent Show, in addition to creating the Honor Wall to recognize military members in the community, planning a Ducks game for families to enjoy, or navigating Rock Rivalry through a pandemic. Alicia will always step up to the challenge. Alicia works tirelessly to support our families who have experienced financial hardships. For the past 5 years, She has supported our Thanksgiving food drive. She was instrumental in raising money and providing food for many local families during our food drive. She contacted restaurants, bakeries, supermarkets, and the like to request donations on behalf of our families. She raised hundreds of dollars in gift certificates that were donated to families in our community. Because of her partnership, she has helped to provide food for almost 100 students and their families over the years. In recognition of her extraordinary character, community involvement, philanthropy, and positive contributions to the East Rockaway community, I present you with this East Rockaway Board of Education Hometown Hero Award. Alicia, congratulations.
Congratulations to Alicia and her family. This is a tremendous honor. And I do want to say that this was a grassroots award, that the idea came from the Board of Education, and we made it happen. And we're so honored to be able to recognize some of our outstanding community members. So I'd like a nice round of applause for the Board of Education to getting that idea off the ground. Our next presentation is a special one. I believe it is the first in our history. So without further ado, I'd like to call up our athletic director, Mr. Gary Gregory, to speak about our student athletes.
Okay, thank you to the Board of Education, Superintendent DiTomaso, and the members of the cabinet, and welcome to everyone. When people speak about athletics, often the one major focus is on winning. Yes, we do strive to win, but that's not the only thing we want to do. We do teach life lessons. We can't forget that we are education-based athletics in our schools. And the title of student athlete is the most important. Hence the word student before athlete. Students must meet certain academic and attendance criteria in order to be able to participate in extracurricular activities, including athletics. And tonight we will see some of those student athletes that have succeeded not only on the field or the court, but in the classroom as well. These students not only display, but excel in just some of these traits: organization, time management, leadership, motivation, scheduling, prioritizing, and persistence, just to name a few. I'm very proud to announce that for the first time in our history, we do have 100% of our teams earning the New York State Public High Schools Athletic Association's Scholar Athlete Team. So to shorten that, that's going to be called NISFA for now on. So I don't want to say that whole entire thing. So when I say NISFA, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so this feat is extremely impressive because 3 of our teams are actually merged with Malvern. So we do have to rely on student athletes, not only for our teams, but for their grades as well. To receive the Scholar Athlete Team recognition, we do earn a certificate from the state. The team's average grade point average, GPA, has to be 75% of that roster. So we do have some pretty large rosters here. They have to be greater than or equal to 90.00. 89.99 does not make the cut. It has to be 90 or higher. Okay, any individual on a varsity team with a 90.00 GPA similarly is an individual scholar athlete. They do receive pins from NISFA, which I gave out already, although some of you had to chase down quite often to get it to you, but they did receive their awards tonight. So tonight we're going to recognize those scholar athletes that were on those teams today. So when you do hear your name called, please come down to your left. If you are the first person called, I'll be handing you the team certificate so you can take the picture with it with your team. I do need those back. That has to go in our record books. Okay, so with that being said, please hold your applause for the entire team to be called. Then you can go crazy for your child or your friends. Okay, so first up, we have for our boys cross country team, we have Coach Ken Anderson, if he's present. He also coaches the girls cross country team. The boys cross country team earned a 100.07 team GPA. So once again, if you hear your name, please come on up. We have Aiden Alvarez, 95.61. Edwin Duran, 91.53. Jack Amash, 92.97. Connor Kelly, 104.48. Kevin Lynch, 103.46. Kieran Lynch, 103.62. Paul Lynch, an 8th grader, 98.01. Timothy Poland, 103.95. Mark Polakov, 98.41. Juan Pablo Salazar, 90.39. Come on down, boys cross country. Girls cross country just beat out the boys cross country with a 100.21 team GPA. Once you hear your name, please come on up. Kylie Curtis, 94.21. Mackenzie Gallagher, 92.65. Caitlin Coolins, 101.12. Julia Menino, 95.60. Maya Motherway, 102.85. Gabriella Schaefer, 101. Haley Velasquez, 106.48. Girls cross country. And Coach Ken, if you're here, you can come on down. Oh, there you are. Okay. What I am very proud of is our boys football team with a very, very large roster. Remember, 75% of the students have to have a 90 or above. They came in with a 93.72 GPA. So here we go. Luke Arcieri, 102.32. Hayden Arnold, 100.92. Christopher Becker, 99.13. John Giannotti, 91.90. Mark Goodman, 90.90. Thomas Guarino, double duty on the soccer field as well, 101.10. Devin Hickam, 95.01. Tyler Highland, 95.10. Dominic Jordan, 94.28. William Leewald, 102.81. Christian Panula, 99.33. Frank Passanisi, 101.06. Anthony Sanzo, 97.86. Colin Sharkey, 90.57. And Zane Tariq, 101.44. Boys football, coached by Coach Pager. So take one. To be continued. Okay, girls volleyball taking home the gold medal with the highest team GPA of 102.58. And there's a lot of them. Here we go. Claire Acuti, 110.83. Isabella Alvarez, 96.54. Kirsten Carmen, 107.35. Michaela Cirillo, 101.44. Catherine LaBarbera, 103.17. Stephanie Lynch, 101.58. Sarah O'More, 102.72. Kiera O'Neill, 97.30. Julia Passanisi, 105.83. Emma Poland, 93.84. Emma Van Wickler, 94.96. Julia Walsh, 110.69. Grace Wooding, 107.23. And Nicole, I'm probably going to say your last name wrong. Zugnoni, sorry, I apologize. 90.50. Okay, our cheerleading team. I'm not sure if anybody's here, but they are coached by Coach Rufino. Their team average is 92.02. And if you're here, come on down. Julia Agro, 96.35. Selin Idik, 95.15. Eva Lamb, 102.13. Ava Lavolpe, 102.51. Sarah Lonergan, 92.69. Ariana, I'm going to say your last name wrong. I apologize. Mortua, 90.67. Isabella Polizzi, 105.06. Joanna Rodriguez, 102.07. Destiny Rucker, 93. Elizabeth Ruggiero, 100.56. And Gabriella Seinwells, 93.86. Any cheerleaders here? All right, round of applause. And for our combined teams, again, I didn't see anybody from girls tennis, but their team average is 98.46. We have Evelyn Arabov, 90.28, and Abigail Prusha, 99.67. Any of the girls here? Okay. Girls soccer, we have a team average of 93.40. Courtney Gaffney, I think I saw her, 92.27. Eighth grader Paulina Cuthbert, 94.05. And Kate Chelius, exactly 90.00. Okay. And lastly, our boys soccer team with a 93.46 team GPA. Nicholas Guarino, 102.57. Thomas Guarino, 101.10. Giuseppe Monteverdi, 92.42. David Regala, 90.00. Robert Staubitz, 95.64. And Joseph Santanastaso, 98.42. Come on down. Okay, go ahead. To wrap things up, I just wanted to announce that we are going to be unveiling new banners in the big gym, not only for our teams that have won different titles, but we are also going to have our Scholar Athlete teams acknowledged. The 2022 fall will not be on there yet. That will be ordered and placed on once they're on there. So congratulations to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gregory, and congratulations to all our student athletes. Just one comment about that. The student athletes don't just show up and perform. It's a community. The support from the teachers, from the administrators, and especially the parents, driving them back and forth, getting them to games, supporting them at games is incredibly important. And I believe this is our first in history. So one last round of applause for all our parents, student athletes, and administrators. Our last presentation will be our junior senior high curriculum update. Working incredibly hard on that is our assistant superintendent, Mr. Sean Murray, and our high school principal, Mr. Richard Schaefer. So I'd like to call them up to the podium for their presentation.
All right, good evening. We'll just take a moment to get the screen down so everyone can see our presentation. All right, good evening, and thank you for your attention. The presentation you're going to see today was really put together by Mr. Schaefer and Ms. Terranova in the high school. I just was kind of along for the ride, but it did fall under our same thing as our Scholar Athletes. It's a matter of making sure that everyone feels like they belong and are included, because that's how we do our best. And as you see the rest of the presentation, you'll see what that's about. And I'm also very happy to say that we have some high school students to help with our presentation, because who better to talk about the updates in the high school than those who are living it. As always, it's our mission statement that drives everything we do at every level in every piece of our work. And specifically tonight, we're really focused on engaging, inspiring, creating self-directed students with ethical decision-making who are citizens of the world. So that's really what our focus is on tonight. What drives us right in the middle, it's kids first always, because we know if we put kids first, if we expose them and let them participate in 21st century learning activities, if we make a commitment to continuous learning for ourselves as the adults in the system and for them as our students, if we give them continuous feedback to their learning, we know that results will follow. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Mr. Schaefer, and he's going to talk specifically about the approach at the high school.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Murray. Good evening. So this year, the high school set out 3 goals to collectively work on to continue our path of improving student outcomes. These goals, however, accomplish much more than raising test scores and reducing failures. They help to create an environment which students feel included in their school community and that they belong at East Rockaway Junior Senior High School. These goals include promoting positive behaviors, creating an academic forward environment, and celebrating our cultures. So tonight we're going to give you a brief overview of some of the steps that East Rockaway High School, the staff here, has taken, not only this year, but going back several years in the case of some of these initiatives. So the first initiative that we'd like to share with you is Rockbucks, new this year. Rockbucks is a positive behavior incentive system designed to reward students for positive behaviors aligned with the traits of wisdom, empathy, respect, optimism, compassion, and kindness. Positive behavior incentive systems are research-based, proven to improve student behaviors and building culture. So in this case, students are rewarded Rockbucks by any staff member in the building, whether teacher, administrator, monitor, anyone in the building, and they can exchange these rewards for a variety of prizes or experiences. Behaviors rewarded range from helping a peer open their locker to volunteering their time at last week's curriculum fair to help inform our community about the courses that we offer. And then students can cash in their Rockbucks, and here are some of the items that they can exchange their Rockbucks for. Anywhere from a piece of candy, a chocolate bar, which this last 2 weeks, chocolate bars for some reason seem to be very popular. But we also have a variety of ERH merchandise, including water bottles, t-shirts, pens, drawstring book bags, cell phone ID holders. We also, thanks to our PTA, have a variety of gift cards to Heavenly Coffee, Starbucks, Five Below, a couple other places. Some of the other options that are not physical material items include, this is popular to the juniors and seniors, if they earn enough Rockbucks, they could actually exchange their Rockbucks for on-campus parking for 2 days, which, if you know the size of our campus, that's pretty valuable real estate. For our sophomores who don't have off-campus privileges for lunch, with parent permission, they could actually exchange their Rockbucks for a day of off-campus lunch. Other rewards include a pizza party for the student cashing in their Rockbucks and for friends. We've included some in-class rewards for teachers who are willing to allow them the Rockbucks to be exchanged, including points on a test, a late homework pass, even forgiving a lateness to class, things like that. If you really want to go for the high end, you could cash your Rockbucks in and be principal for the day. I'd be more than happy to vacate the seat for 24 hours, or even losing for them, winning for me. And then also allow for an ERHS Instagram takeover. And our students have gotten creative. They asked really good questions like, do Rockbucks carry over from year to year? So they can actually bank their points from year to year. Seniors, you use them or lose them this year. And we've also had input from the student council about other ways that we can make the system better. But we do have one student here tonight to talk about Rockbucks. So John, where are you? Oh, come on up.
All right. Before I came to East Rockaway, I had a coach from my old school. His name was Coach Hess, and he told me about the football program at East Rockaway. He so happened to sub here. When I first arrived, I got a whole tour of the school with Coach Pager, and he introduced me to all the coaches and teammates. I began to fit in well with the school from junior year to now. I fit in well because I played a lot of sports and made a ton of new friends throughout the 2 years I've been here. Football was a big part of that, and it taught me a lot from playing on JV as a junior to starting this year on both sides of the ball. Another part of me fitting in well was Rockbucks. These inspire me to keep doing well in school because you can add them up over the years, over the years and redeem them for cool rewards. Getting these Rockbucks made me a great person in and outside of school by helping people when they need it or even helping someone that isn't feeling too great that day. A simple act of kindness will get you these rock bucks. Rock bucks are a great part of the program.
Thank you, John. I will now turn the podium over to Ms. Terranova, who will talk about various academic initiatives.
I just want to thank John again. I know he's running out the door, but John just moved here, and parents, thank you for being here last year and to acclimate so quickly and so well and become a vested member of our school community and the community at large. Great job, John. Several of the things we do throughout the day also build on our culture. We have a program called AVID, which many people don't know stands for Achievement via Individual Determination. Nice fancy term for meeting students where they are and bringing them steps farther to where they want to be. In that class, in both 7th and 9th grade, we focus on collaborative norms. There is a hunger and food insecurity unit, which leads to a building-wide food drive, and there are current events and discussions of real-world issues in a safe space. We have 2 students this evening to talk about their experiences in AVID, one who is currently enrolled and one who is older and looking back on her journey. I would like to invite Jethro Jaquette to this podium, please, to speak about his experiences in 9th grade AVID. It's a long walk.
Hi, my name is Jethro. I'm currently an AVID student, and my favorite part of AVID is building relational capacity. On Fridays, we work on collaboration through team building activities and competitive games. This helps us learn how to work on team towards a goal, and it is very fun. I think the most important thing I am learning now is how to manage my time effectively. In 9th grade, it starts to get overwhelming to balance school. And after school activities, AVID focuses on teaching us how to manage our time in order to stay organized and get all of the work done.
Krista Fardella actually couldn't be here tonight because she was called into the fire department where she also volunteers, which is apropos of who she is as a human being. I will play the part of Krista and read her statement. She worked very hard on it. She is very exuberant, for those of you who know her, so I'll try my best. Hi, my name is Krista Fardella. I was part of the AVID program in 2020. AVID is a college and career readiness elective offered in 7th and 9th grade that prepares students for high school classes and college. My favorite part of taking this class was learning how to take focused notes because it helped me excel in my core classes and even eventually prepared me for the rigor of AP classes. I think the most important thing I learned during this class was job interview skills and resume writing. I currently hold a job in the junior fire department and look forward to using these skills I learned in AVID in college. Thank you, Krista, who is probably watching right now. School-wide programs that we have introduced in the past several years to help further build our culture include the One Book, One School project, in which every student reads the same book over the summer, and we focus throughout the year on thematic activities centered around belonging and empathy. The 8th grade research project allows students in social studies to interview their oldest living family member and speak about their emigration experience to America and build empathy by realizing that we all have similar push and pull factors. Vignette writing in 7th grade starts very young after they read The House on Mango Street and everyone shares a part of their life story in a safe space of the classroom. We have also introduced the Seal of Biliteracy to honor our bilingual students, both including those who came here bilingual and those who earn credit in English, Spanish, and Italian. And we have a Seal of Civic Readiness, which I'm going to ask Mr. Murray to speak to for a moment before we have another student presenter.
So the Seal of Civic Readiness, this is actually our first year. We're hoping to have several seniors graduate with an additional seal on their diploma. This is the first year the state is offering it, and we're working in our AP government classes first to have some of those students do a real-world project that supports and helps the community through civic mindedness, and those students will get an additional seal on their diploma. And in time, we're hoping many of East Rockaway's graduates, knowing how important community is to this school district, I think many of our students will be earning that seal over the course of time.
Thank you. Celebrating our cultures throughout the building has become something I've looked very forward to sharing and preparing. In advisory, students presented during Hispanic Heritage Month to their younger peers. And one of the last students waiting to present, who has patiently listened, will come up and talk about what it was like for him to come and teach about his culture to our 7th and 8th graders. A student who has matured probably more than anyone I've ever seen in his high school years. Congratulations, Mom. Matt Laren.
Hello, my name is Matt Laren, and being able to give a presentation on El Salvador and advisory was a great experience for me. I know there are a lot of people in this school that don't know a lot about what goes on in other countries and other traditions, and I love educating people on new things, especially things from my culture and my background. And being able to do this made me feel very happy because there are people in the school that want to be educated on other cultures and people who want me to educate people on my culture. So thank you.
Throughout January, we focused on the work of Martin Luther King Jr. You can see the display outside as you exit. And Dr. Nancy Kaplan and Mr. Lamar Lee have conducted workshops in multiple grades around belonging and inclusivity. I happened to sit in on several of them, and they were really exciting. I now turn it over to Mr. Schaefer.
Thank you, Ms. Turnova. Building upon our efforts to celebrate the cultures of our students, this year we partnered with our food services company to create themed menus, including special dishes for Hispanic Heritage Month, Italian American Heritage Month, and Native American Heritage Month. The January menu includes Korean beef tacos and chicken tikka masala, and February's menu will celebrate National African American Heritage Month. Special thanks to Miss Allison Canatella from Aramark for putting this all together. Truth be told, I just asked her, can we do something? And 10 minutes later, she had menus for every month for the entire year ready to go. She's actually been a great partner for us, and she's actually working with Student Council right now to create a student vote for the official Rock Burger, which will be featured in our cafeteria soon. So that's very exciting. More to come on that. Also, two of our extracurricular clubs that we would like to highlight tonight are the Dignity Club and the U-Nations Club. The Dignity Club, which has existed for some time, has worked the past several years to promote diversity and tolerance at ERHS through several different campaigns. They have organized campaigns to remove offensive words from our school, to educate its members about DASA, and to raise awareness about autism. They have also sponsored morning announcements to share information about various cultural holidays, most recently Diwali. And a big thank you to Ms. Kenny for leading this important work. U-Nations is our newest club at ERHS. The club's slogan is Building Bridges to Break Barriers and is open to all students in grades 7 through 12. The club is focused on uniting not only ENL students with non-ENL students, but also uniting students within the ENL program, as we know there's quite a bit of diversity there as well. So far this year, U-Nations has sponsored a Halloween party and created the December holiday display in our main lobby, and they're looking to organize a trip to the Tenement Museum in the spring. Ms. Best has spearheaded this club, and she's a large reason why this club has become so popular. Additionally, the Cultural Competency Task Force, a little bit of a tongue twister, is a teacher-created committee that began a few years ago. The committee has looked at the New York State standards for cultural responsive schools and has worked both to create opportunities for our students to to feel more valued and included, but also to create opportunities for our staff to respond to and identify behaviors that do not support this overarching goal. The committee actually has met with both the students of the Dignity Club last spring to get a student's perspective of what strides we can make to continue to foster a sense of belonging and inclusivity. And just last month, they met with the U-Nation students to share family traditions and to talk about the holiday display they created in the main lobby. In both cases, the students reported that the experiences were rewarding and valuable. Finally, we have made an investment at the high school in translation units that will allow us to provide translation services to families that attend a variety of events. Similar to what you would see museum tour guides use, these units allow live translation of a presentation by one of our staff members through a receiver that can be transmitted to up to 32 people at once. And we're hoping that this will encourage and engage some of our families that have not traditionally attended our meetings. And while there's still work to do, we feel we're moving in the right direction and encourage our students and parents to share any new ideas that they may have. And with that, we will take questions. So before we go to the board for questions, I do just want to once again really commend the students who gave up their own time. Maybe they got Rockbucks, I don't know. But they gave up their own time to share their experience as a student in our high school. Those young adults can tell us better than anybody else what the improvements and the curriculum are like at the high school. And I think that they did an amazing job. So I want to give them personally one round of applause from me. And I also want to thank Mr. Schaefer, Ms. Terranova, and the entire high school team for how hard they are working to put kids first through some of these programs. I have to say, I have a freshman in a different high school nearby. He could really use Avid because he is struggling with that balance. And as our student who described the program said, it really helps you navigate the challenges of being an independent learner. So I appreciate that perspective as a parent myself. So now, any questions from the board? All right, then, thank you very much.
Okay. Great presentation. Great job. Next item is old business, and tonight there is no old business. So we will be moving on to public comments on agenda items. Are there any public comments on agenda items tonight? Where'd everyone go? All right. Approval of minutes. At this time, can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the December 13th, 2022 regular meeting of the Board of Education and the January 4th meeting, special meeting? Motion by Mr. Motherway, second. Second by Mr. DiMatteo. All in favor? Aye. Motion approved. Okay. Next is acknowledgement of monthly reports and correspondence. The board did receive monthly financial reports for November 2022. At correspondence, the board did receive 2 emails about the letter that the board sent to Governor Hochul, which is on the website, the school website. Okay, item 3 is consent agenda. I'm going to read this first. Just so everyone knows. Okay. All right. To make more efficient use of meeting time, the Board of Education authorizes the use of a consent agenda as a part of the meeting agenda. A consent agenda allows for one motion to approve multiple items, and such items are identified as such on the agenda. The president of the board will ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda and will ask if board members wish to have discussion and/or clarification on specific items contained within the consent agenda. Following the discussion, the board will then vote on the consent agenda motion. In addition, a board member may request to have an item removed from the consent agenda in order to vote on the motion separately. Okay, so at this time, be it hereby resolved that the Board of Education consider the following items as a whole as a consent agenda. So at this time, can I have a motion to consider a consent agenda? Motion by Mr. Volpez, second? Second by Mr. DiMatteo. All in favor? Aye. Motion approved. Okay. Second part, recommendation of superintendent's personnel schedules, items 4A through G, other items 5A through B, approval of CSE and CPSE recommendations 6E. So at this time, can I have a motion to consider those as a consent agenda? Motion by Mr. Motherway, second? Second by Mr. Volpez. All in favor? Motion approved. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of Education approves the items on the consent agenda. Okay, item 4. Sorry, no, that was consent agenda. Item 7, policy matters. Okay, tonight there are no policies up for adoption. Policies for review, policy 5225, student personnel expression, and policies for review. There are 15 policies currently for review, which are on tonight's agenda. Okay, item 8, superintendent's report. Mr. DiTomaso.
Thank you. And I just want to say before I get to my report, how incredibly proud I am of the presentations and the work effort that not only the administrators and teachers are putting in, but the parents and the students as well. And I think tonight was evident in seeing, students part of our presentation. And, I do really appreciate it. And, I know the community does as well. So I just wanted to state that publicly, that I'm incredibly proud, of the direction that we're going with the Board of Education and our administrators. With that being said, superintendent's report, we'll be celebrating all the achievements in our 4 pillar areas from the strategic plan. So I'll start with achievement. Center Avenue and Rame Avenue teachers continue to work with our literacy coach, Danielle Schneider, to support unit planning using wonders and a balanced literacy approach. Teachers are providing opportunities to enhance the modeling portions of their lessons, as well as using engaging read-alouds to support learning intentions and success criteria. Center Avenue held an achievement assembly to celebrate all the work the school has done after concluding the Thinking Maps 12-week rollout. During the 12-week rollout, students and staff worked through their learning using various thinking maps as their tools. Students began using their work by using key cognitive vocabulary so they can decide how they wanted to express their thinking in all content areas. During the assembly, led by our very own Ms. Kelly, students presented which maps they used and how it helped them feel confident in school. Students shared how it helped them in their everyday life, especially how in school it helped them remember key topics and assisted in the writing process. All students brought their All About Me books that contained all the maps that were shared and everything personal to them. Lastly, a Thinking Maps trivia game was played with the school where students won small prizes. And to quote, I believe Ms. Kelly, the energy in the room was magnetic. Congratulations to Julia Walsh and Julia Passanisi, who were named All-State volleyball players, and John Giannotti, who was named an All-State football player. Our Nassau Community College students, in which we have 5, finished their first semester in their college. Some students have even opted to take winter session classes. Students are excited for their second semester on the college campus, and I could say we've been checking in with them, and they've been doing tremendously. Ms. Isaac's AP seminar students completed their individual research reports, putting them in great place to move on with their work towards their oral presentations on high rigor, high interest topics. We can't wait to see how they continue to grow throughout their research process. East Rockaway High School senior Natalie Hayes was named the January Nassau County Scholar Artist by Newsday. This prestigious award honors exceptionally accomplished high school seniors from across Long Island. We congratulate Natalie for this and for the many awards she has won during her time at East Rockaway. Marie Cordero, high school math teacher, was accepted into the New York State Master Teacher Program, which is a network of outstanding teachers reorganized for their dedication to providing the most innovative STEM education to their students, their commitment to professional growth, and their enthusiasm for sharing their successful practices with colleagues in their schools, districts, and regions. Marie will join Ms. Dane Forbes, our science chairperson, in representing our district for this program. This is a tremendous accomplishment and a great benefit to the district. So congratulations to Marie Cordero. For the Pillar of Opportunity, at Rame Avenue, they created a space for students to use their interests to assist during recess. Students were able to participate in activities that were related to their interests, which supported peer relations and fun during recess. At Center Avenue, the students led food service committees, met with RMARC, and shared their suggestions to the lunch menu. Many of their ideas are now put into motion. Students will have the option of barbecue sauce and honey mustard for chicken nuggets, as well as the opportunity to purchase hot pretzels for lunch. Sounds pretty good to me. Also, the students shared some ideas for the February lunch menu. Thank you to those students who participated. Students in science research classes had an opportunity to present their research remotely to the U-Albany program and received feedback on their work. We're anxiously anticipating to see their projects. Students in the marine biology classes headed to the New York Aquarium to better understand relationships in our marine ecosystem and impacts on these ecosystems. Senior Michaela Cirillo was awarded the Congress of Future Medical Leaders Award of Excellence by the National Academy of Future Physicians and Medical Scientists. This award is This award is in recognition of Michaela's successful completion and outstanding performance as a delegate in the Congress of the Medical Leaders, an honors-only program with a strict academic requirement designed to motivate and direct top students who aspire to be physicians and medical scientists. We wish Michaela the very best of luck in her pursuit of a medical career. In the area of innovation, at Rame Avenue, model schools visited to support teachers in enhancing their technological knowledge within lesson planning. Teachers used programs like Padlet and Smarty Ants. At Center Avenue, students in Miss Healy's STEM class applied their understanding of safe personal information sharing combined and computer programming. Their finished products were unique digital interactive posters that expressed who they are with text and custom images. The students had a great time showcasing their programming skills by sharing their digital posters with their classmates. Students in Mr. Palermo's physics classes engaged in an engineering design project to create the tallest standing object as a real-world application to traditional classroom experiences. Can't wait to see those. Ms. Connolly and Mr. Collins collaborated with Ms. Schoen to kick off the 9th grade research project in their global classes. Students used their thinking maps to brainstorm enduring issues they would like to learn about and are engaging with Noodle tools to further their learning on the topic of their choice. Students in Miss Maya's design and drawing production class use Adobe Illustrator and the laser engraver to create 3D lanterns. Lanterns were distributed as holiday gifts to various high school staff members. I received one and they were absolutely beautiful. The East Rockaway Gamers Club held our first annual Super Smash Brothers tournament last week, the tournament in which Gamers Club competed against staff members. This was a fundraiser for the Gamers Outreach, a nonprofit organization that providing gaming equipment to children in hospitals. Very commendable. The Pillar of Connection. Center and Rame Avenue students wore blue to honor our law enforcement officers on Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Students made cards and wrote letters sharing their thanks for all of the law enforcement officers do to protect our community. Officer Ruff from our local precinct visited Center Avenue and shared all our accolades with the fellow officers at the precinct, and it was very much appreciated. Students in advisory created thoughtful cards for our local senior center. In January, they are engaging in a series of activities in the spirit and memory of Martin Luther King Jr. And I believe, as highlighted in the presentation today, each school hosted a number of activities celebrating the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King. Thank you to those students and administrators for supporting that cause. The enrichment and remediation programs began last year. This year, several popular programs are set to return, including Regent Support Classes, Her Story, Constellation Magazine, and Anime and Comic Book Club at the high school, and iReady Academics, Gardening Club, and the basketball program at the elementary level. In addition, we have exciting new additions such as Community Service Art Program, Yoga and Mindfulness, Cooking and Baking, Woodworking Technology, and more. Thank you to Mr. Joe Politi for supervising and overseeing these exciting programs, along with assistance from Mr. Murray. On Wednesday, January 11th, East Rockaway High School held its annual curriculum fair. The evening began in the cafeteria with dinner for the families. The program transitioned to the auditorium where the 2023-24 scheduling process and the course sequences for each department were presented. Information about new courses that will be offered next year was also shared. The evening concluded with breakout rooms where students and teachers shared information about specific courses and a variety of extracurricular activities. I can say there was everything from robots on the floor, guitars being played, videos being displayed. The event, I was incredibly impressed by the amount of parents and student participation, as well as our teachers. So I'd like to thank the administrators for pushing that forward and making it an outstanding event for the high school. The elementary concert choir, under the direction of Ms. Salloway and the East Rockaway High School carolers, performed many seasonal favorites to the delight of those in attendance, followed by our high school choral students who sang holiday carols at our annual East Rockaway Village tree lighting on December 17th. Songs of the holiday cheer warmed the crowd on a very chilly night. It was a festive night enjoyed by all. I believe, I'm not sure if they're still up there, but you can listen to the performances on the website. So I'd also like to thank the village for that too, for supporting that tremendous event. I know it was well attended and always very popular with our kids. And I believe even Santa Claus appeared, so it was very, very well done. The district hosted our ENL Cultural Holiday Celebration, which was organized by Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Healy. Families of students in our English as new language program, or ENL students, were invited to share dishes from their countries of heritage in celebration of holiday season. Elementary and secondary families provided a variety of delicacies, and all in attendance enjoyed the taste of the different flavors from around the globe. After dinner, families participated in games of bingo, and participating families were awarded prizes. Staff members, including ENL teachers and school administrators, contributed to the evening's festivities. I'd like to also thank the administrators and teachers for attending that. The ENL Cultural Holiday Celebration captured the spirit of the holiday season and provided opportunities for family to make strong connections within their community, as apropos of what we just heard in our presentation. And we are excited to continue and build upon the new traditions, which created a welcoming atmosphere for all. So I just have two announcements for dates for your FYI, and we will be sending this out to the community as well. Please note that the PTA Founders Day has been rescheduled from February 28th, so it will no longer be on February 28th. That is the day that we have our planned sixth grade trip. So we needed to move that date, and the new date for Founders Day will be March 14th. So if you want to note that, I'll be sending a message to the community, and also we'll be updating that on our website. And lastly, as you can see, our musical is in progress, and the musical will be held on February 10th and 11th. Thank you very much. Yep.
All right, thank you, Mr. DiTomaso. Almost done. Okay, next item is good and welfare. Condolences to Kathleen Crowley and family on the passing of her father, Thomas Early. Condolences to Sherry Hummel and family on the passing of her father, Frank Ferrara. Condolences to Victoria Longworth and family on the passing of her mother, Marilyn Dengler. Condolences to Mary Ellen Haggerty and family on the passing of her sister, Jean West. Congratulations to Muharrem Caracas and family on the birth of his daughter, Hanifa. Congratulations to Kristen Pisano and family on the birth of her son, Austin Jones. Congratulations to Amy Weissman Canali and family on the arrival of her daughter, Avery Rose Weissman Canali. Congratulations to Vinnie Healy and family on the arrival of his son, Connor Michael.
Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, next is public comments. Please be reminded that the meeting is live streamed and being recorded. I encourage residents to contact the board at boardoфeducation@ersd.org and to contact your child's teacher or appropriate administrator with any concerns. At this time, if you have a comment, please complete the form prior to speaking to allow for public participation. A period not to exceed 30 minutes shall be set aside for this portion of the agenda, and each individual is entitled to 3 minutes. This time limit will be enforced so that many members of the public who wish to speak may do so. So at this time, are there any public comments? Okay. All right. Next is board member comments. Who wants to start? Mike? All right. Take this.
Yeah, I just wanted to say just how impressed I was with all of our students on a whole, all that were here tonight. Ava, Nathan, and Kristen, the winners of the 9/11 essays. It was so impressive. Especially they weren't even born, when that happened, and it goes to show that how important it is to never forget, and that it hasn't been lost on them. Also, again, all the teams. It's amazing how many teams and how many players had such high grade point averages. Just really impressed. And also with the creating an environment of inclusivity and belonging. I think that's awesome. The clubs that they have, the new clubs that started, and the food menu being changed to represent different cultures. I think that's awesome. And including the students and teaching about their own cultures. I thought that was really great. And then I think the positive behavior incentive systems, I think it's a great idea with the Rocks Bucks. And I think I just wanted to give a salute to our principal, Schaefer. I think it's a great idea for him to offer a student to be a principal for a day. I think it's really cool, and it's what it's all about. Thank you.
I'll make it short and sweet. In honor of Martin Luther King Day, I'm going to leave you with a quote. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Martin Luther King Jr.
Tonight was, it was special in a lot of different ways. Student participation, I want to thank the administrators for thinking out of the box and really bringing this to the forefront. We've asked as the board, we know our administrators, we know what you're capable of, but we never grind it all the way down. And we're starting to do that more and more now. Evidence when students get up and they speak at the podium and they're able to give their own thought and their own words into what it means to them, to what they are doing or what they're involved in. I encourage you to keep that up because as a board member, I can't think of a more valuable tool of evaluating programs that are going on in the school than to hear from students themselves. Scholars, that blew my mind tonight because what it really told me was not only do we have performing, there were student athletes, but they're students first. And they're performing on many levels. That means, for anybody who doesn't know, somebody getting over 100 average, they're involved in classes that are far above high school. Okay, they are the classes that attract college credit, and they get weighted averages with that. And that's a terrific, an unbelievable sign of how we're growing, okay, academically, all right, as a school, because when you heard all those averages, it's just mind-boggling. But then it hits and you say, wow, we really have a higher now academic means, and we're looking to meet that all across the board. So I thank you, administrators. I thank you, teachers, for what you're doing there. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. Rock Bucks. I can't tell you how much I love the Rock Bucks. I love it because it's for everybody. There's something for everybody in Rock Bucks, you know, and as crazy as it sounds, some people might think, oh, you got to bribe kids. No, it's not about bribing. What it is about acknowledgement. It's about when somebody does something great, I can stop in the hallway as a teacher, okay, and say, what a great job. What's your name? You know, find out a little bit about you, and then all of a sudden you get a little reward. And they build up, and how those questions, Mr. Schaefer have their saying, you know, can I accumulate Rock Bucks? There's the person who wants to be the next principal, so you better watch out, okay, on that one. The seal of civic readiness. Mr. Murray, I can't tell you, I want to thank you for carrying that forward. We brought that as a board last year. We spoke about it. You're new on the job, and it hasn't lost a beat. And the way you decided to start it small and build it, you know, and they will come. I'm so interested in seeing, and maybe we can hear from those students who are involved with that. Love to hear from them, because the civic readiness is the greatest way that we can say our students are ready for the world, you know, what they've done to become ready for the world. So thank you for carrying that on without losing a beat there. And the last part is clubs connecting with clubs. Wow. I've never, in my entire 41 years involved in education, heard that a club is connecting with another club to get some more information and maybe assist or maybe bring out more things to work together with each other. And when I heard that tonight, I said, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing, because now what we have is kids collaborating with kids, students collaborating with students. And that's where it really is. And that's what teachers do. They teach so that others can collaborate, and they move into the world knowing how to collaborate, knowing what education really is. So I thank you all tonight. What a great night. Thank you.
All right. I'm not going to reiterate everything they said. You guys said it all. But a few things. The Andrew Stern essay contest winners, every year I'm amazed at, I'm sure all of you are too, at the essays and how thoughtful they are. And this year was exactly the same. They were incredible. Listening to those, I saw everyone's faces. They were awesome. The Hometown Hero Award, I'm so happy for Alicia Farron-Krug. The things she's done here, and her whole family, a great East Rockaway family. So congratulations, Alicia. All of the scholar athletes, to see every fall team be a scholar athlete team was awesome. Is that the first time? I mean, that was awesome. And the curriculum update, I want to thank Mr. Schaefer, Mr. Murray, Ms. Terranova, everyone. Every student needs to feel included and needs to feel a part of the school community, and you guys are doing a great job of that. So thank you for that. So at this time, I'd like to adjourn this meeting at 8:34 to go into executive session to discuss matters leading to the appointment, employment of a particular person. So at this time, can I have a motion to adjourn into executive session? Motion by Mr. DiMatteo, second. Second by Mr. Motherway. All in favor? Motion approved. Good night, everyone.